Good morning, I'm Maddie Jansen, and this is the podcast of 17 News at Sunrise. It's everything you need to know to start your day in about 15 minutes.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
My friends, we have inherited one of the most difficult periods.
Serious tone at the 22nd annual State of the County address. Hear why county leaders are concerned and what they plan to do about the challenges facing our community.
The local man accused of forcing his ex-girlfriend at gunpoint to have a miscarriage goes back before a judge later today.
And so does the man who says he was the central part of a scheme to force Ukrainians to announce investigations into Joe Biden. Why Lev Parnas is due back in court and what he was doing on Capitol Hill yesterday. This is Thursday, January 30th, 2020. Good morning. Great to have you with us. I'm Maddie Jansen alongside Alex Fisher. And Kevin Charette has made it back home.
Yeah, he has made it back home, and he's kept the colder temperatures up north, although a very chilly start to this morning. Definitely grab the jacket, right, Kev?
Grab a jacket. It was definitely beautiful off of Tahoe. I think about a house. I'm going to try to move the weather center to Tahoe and still do the weather for you, though. Don't worry. No. It was a nice trip, but it's nice to be back home. And it was a nice day yesterday for you. 58 degrees was the high, and that's right where we should be this time of year. Our normal is 59. The record yesterday, 74, set back in 1986. 70s could be on the way for the weekend, though, so that'll be a good thing. As we take a look at our visibility, all is good. 10 miles for Bakersfield all the way up to the north. Fog is not an issue for us this morning. We sit at 41 degrees, so as Alex mentioned, might want to grab a light jacket. No winds to talk about. And as we take a look at the day, starting out in the 40s, 58 at noon, and by 3 o'clock, we'll be right near 62 under a light breeze. For the mountains, 35 degrees right now to Tehachapi. A light northwest wind. Visibility is good at 10 miles, and we're going to start out in those 30s and then 50s expected under sunny skies this afternoon. By 3 o'clock, that northwest wind at 10. We'll talk much more about your forecast coming up in just a little bit, but first, let's get a check of the morning commute. We'll send that over to Alex.
Kev, thanks so much, and taking you outside for the first time this morning. Here's a look at the 99 at Airport Drive, and as you can see, very quiet to the start of this Thursday on that side of town. However, we're following one crash that just came down moments ago on the northbound lanes of the 99, just south of Lerdo Highway, where it looks like a car hit several vehicles. And again, this happened within the last 4 or 5 minutes. And we are still waiting for more information from CHP. We will keep you updated on that if it becomes an issue for your morning commute. But right now, like I said, details are limited. We do not know if it is affecting your morning commute. But just be aware, if you are headed that way, the northbound lanes of the 99, just south of Lerdo Highway, you could run into a scene there where CHP is at. So keep that in mind. We'll have another check coming up in about 15 minutes.
And this morning, we're talking about the future of Kern County. Last night, so was 5th District Supervisor and Board Chair Leticia Perez.
Perez discussed challenges and shared her vision for the future. 17's Aton Wallace was there and has a recap.
Well, in her speech, Supervisor Perez narrowed in on one topic: Kern's energy industry. At the Kern County Fairgrounds Wednesday night, Supervisor Leticia Perez started off the 22nd annual State of the County address with a little groove. Delivered in front of hundreds of people, including community leaders and elected representatives, the speech quickly took a serious turn.
My friends, we have inherited one of the most difficult periods in this county's history.
Difficult, she says, because of an uncertain future for Kern's energy industry.
Right.
Last year, Governor Gavin Newsom imposed a series of regulations on oil, and earlier this month, the Board of Supervisors dedicated an entire meeting to the topic.
Kern County's oil future.
On Wednesday, Perez dedicated nearly her entire speech to the energy industry, an industry for which she says Kern must fight to keep.
Our energy industries are part of the pipeline of economic opportunities for my community to achieve a living wage.
Living wages, Perez believes, has ensured economic security for everyday people and families who work in the energy sector.
These communities sustained by hardworking families count. And we shouldn't forget that. Kern County families working their tails off together, trying to escape the hell of poverty.
Perez also said Kern County remains committed to the environment and renewable energy, something she wants the county's critics to understand loud and clear.
The last time I checked, we were the unrivaled champions of renewables across the state of California.
Now, Perez says it's time to stand up and work together to keep energy in Kern.
Kern County is under assault in a way that should require and encourage all of us to band together with all of our collective talents.
Talents she believes have led and will continue to lead to a bright future in the Golden Empire.
We are already great. We are already leading this state and this country, and we should be proud of these accomplishments.
Now, while Perez did not directly name Governor Newsom in the speech, she told me afterwards she intends to partner with the governor to find a solution to keep oil and energy in Kern. In studio, Eitan Wallace, 17 News.
5:05 now, and a man accused of forcing his ex-girlfriend to have a miscarriage is due back in court later today. Back in December, you may remember Jagmeet Sandhu allegedly forced his then-girlfriend to take at least 11 pills, which she believed were intended to induce a miscarriage. The woman said she broke up with Sandhu about 3 weeks earlier because he kept pressing her to have an abortion, but she didn't want one. She told police she got sick after taking those pills and Sandhu ran off. That's when she went to the hospital. A doctor said the baby died from those pills.
Jurors in the Leslie Chance murder trial will be back today deliberating. Chance is accused of killing her husband in 2013. The former elementary school principal allegedly dumped his body in an almond orchard. Earlier this week, the jury sent a note to the judge asking for a readback of the testimony of Chance and her 2 daughters. Jurors started deliberating last Wednesday, but they were forced to start over on Monday after a juror was excused due to financial hardship. An alternate juror was brought in. You can download our 17 News app to receive a push notification when a verdict is reached.
A man was arrested for a shooting outside a local liquor store, and he appeared in court. 21-year-old Alexander Horton was arrested on Monday. He faces half a dozen charges, most of them felonies. Yesterday, he pleaded not guilty to the charges. The shooting happened at Tommy's Liquor Store on South Chester Avenue. KCSO says Horton argued with another man in the parking lot. After getting in his car to leave, Horton allegedly shot at the man and drove off. Horton is being held on a $75,000 bail and is due back in court February 10th.
17 Crime Watch now. Bakersfield police say a woman fought off an attacker while she was jogging on the Kern River bike trail. This is a composite sketch of the suspect. He's described as a Hispanic man, possibly in his mid-20s, around 5'9" or 10, weighing 160 pounds. BPD says he tried to attack the woman on the bike path between Coffee Road and Callaway around 6:30 yesterday morning. But she heard him coming, and when he grabbed her, she sprayed him with pepper spray.
She was, not in the mindset where she was going to be victimized there. She was prepared. She was aware of what was going on here, and it stopped this from being something that could have been potentially so much worse.
Here is another look at that composite of the suspect. If you recognize this man, call BPD at 327-7111.
Now to news making headlines across the state. A tunnel stretching from Mexico to San Diego was discovered yesterday. Officials say it was an advanced way of bringing narcotics into and out of the country. Mimi Alcala has a look.
This tunnel will not be used to smuggle dangerous drugs and other illicit contraband into our communities.
San Diego Border Patrol agents calling this a high-level narco tunnel. They dug into a portion of the ground here to gain access. It was finally exposed in late August after a multi-year investigation. Here's a look inside of the highly sophisticated tunnel that stretches over 3/4 of a mile from Tijuana to San Diego.
It includes an extensive rail cart system, an elevator at the tunnel entrance, and a complex drainage system.
The tunnel begins in an industrial area in Mexico that's just about 1/2 mile west of the Otay Mesa port of entry. Mexican authorities discovered the entrance to the tunnel, and the San Diego Tunnel Task Force began investigating. It travels into the U.S., extending more than 4,000 feet from the border, but did not appear to be in use.
At the time of the discovery, the tunnel did not breach the surface into the United States.
The Tunnel Task Force found hundreds of bags blocking the exit in the U.S., and although no drugs were ever found, they're confident it was used by cartels for drug smuggling. The task force here sending a strong message. They'll continue to do everything they can to stop drugs from coming into the U.S.
We aren't naive enough to think the traffickers won't continue to try and breach our border.
Mimi Alcala reporting. Kern County Sheriff's deputies in Wasco have arrested a man after a week-long drug sting. Deputies served a search warrant at the home of Justino Luis Hernandez. There, they found 65 grams they suspect was meth, marijuana, and a loaded gun and evidence of drug sales. Hernandez faces several charges, including possession with intent to sell. Another person was arrested at the home for an unrelated warrant.
Deputies need your help to find a teenager missing for nearly 2 months. 17-year-old Destiny Yelland disappeared back on December 10th. She is Hispanic, 5'2", with a slim build and brown hair. If you've seen her, call the sheriff's office or the secret witness line at 322-4040.
5:10 now. At Bakersfield, girls in need of a specially trained service dog.
17's Amber Frias has her story when we come back.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News with Maddie Jansen, Alex Fisher, and Kevin Charette with your Pinpoint Doppler forecast. This is 17 News at Sunrise.
Welcome back at 5:20. The family of a young Bakersfield girl is hoping to get her a four-legged lifesaver. Marissa Carrazos is having seizures every day, but getting a specially trained service dog is pricey.
17's Amber Frias has her story.
You're silent.
Marissa Carrazos is bubbly, outgoing, and full of energy.
Disneyland.
She loves to draw and write her own stories.
What do you write about? Ponies, wolves, Guardians of the Galaxy.
But the 9-year-old hasn't had the easiest road. 2 years ago, Marissa suffered her first seizure. It lasted 5 minutes.
And she was shortly thereafter diagnosed with subcortical band heterotopia.
Now she has them every day, each one different.
It's kind of rough on me. My hands get clammy. And I feel scared when I'm not supposed to.
It's the worst thing ever. She's normally happy and bubbly and...
Medical experts say a service dog could keep Marissa safe.
On the tonic-clonic seizures, they can alert before the seizure happens because somehow they sense the change in electrical activity in the brain, and they'll get her to sit down so that she doesn't fall and hit her head. On a tonic seizure, it will go up behind her and knock her knees so that she goes to her knees before she falls, because otherwise she just kind of falls like a tree and hits the ground.
But the cost for one is something the family can't afford.
A seizure response service dog is $28,000.
The family has been fundraising through a GoFundMe. So far, they've raised around $4,000.
For her, it means some freedom that she hasn't been able to have. She can't go to the restroom by herself when she's 9.5 now, at like a restaurant or someplace. At school, someone has to be with her, walking with her all the time. And she has great friends, but I know sometimes that she'll come home and say, so-and-so said they needed a break today.
Amber Frias, 17 News.
Wow, and you can find a link to Marissa's GoFundMe page by going to our website, kget.com. Just click on the link for this story. So expensive, $28,000 for a dog. That is expensive, but it looks like, it really could save her life.
Some amazing things that they can be trained to do.
For sure, absolutely.
So cool. I hope she gets one. All right, it's 5:23 now.
And Kern County Animal Services is bursting at the seams, so it's offering an adoption special through the weekend. All ready to adopt animals at the shelter on Fruitvale Avenue in Bakersfield. It can be adopted for just $20. Among the many advantages of adopting a pet, the shelter takes care of just about everything, and you save a life.
So they are spayed or neutered, they're vaccinated, they're microchipped, they're licensed for a year, they're dewormed. Just about everything you need to be a good, responsible pet owner we'll give you upon adoption. You just need to provide a nice, warm, loving home.
The $20 adoption special runs through Saturday at 4 p.m. The shelter is located at 3951 Fruitvale Avenue in Bakersfield.
Next week, we're teaming up with 2 firefighter foundations that keep helping long after the fires are out. Our annual Hook and Ladder barbecue is happening next week. We're teaming up with both the Bakersfield and Kern County Fire Departments. $5 gets you a burger, chips, cookie, and water. The money raised will go to 2 foundations dedicated to helping burn survivors and their families. It's all happening 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. next Wednesday at Compassion Corner, right outside of our station here in downtown Bakersfield. Hope to see you out here.
Yeah, and it's a great deal. It's a delicious meal, and it really goes to a good cause. So come on down. Hope to see you down here at Compassion Corner. It is that time of year where we're already talking about these barbecues, so looking forward to it.
Yeah, and it's going to be fun. This year, we're actually going to take our entire new newscast out there live. So you can come down and have lunch with us as we anchor the news.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun.
It'll be really cool.
All right, your time now is 5:25, and a Bakersfield native is heading to the Super Bowl with the 49ers.
17's Taylor Schaub has more on that story when we come back.
KGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
Welcome back in your 17 Business Watch. A very important recall alert to pass along to those who care for infants. The Consumer Product Safety Commission has issued recalls of 4 separate inclined infant sleepers that all pose a risk of suffocation. If you have the summer sleeper or the summer infant swaddle me by your bed inclined sleeper, the Graco Little Lounger rocking seat, or the Delta inclined sleeper with adjustable feeding positions for newborns, stop using it immediately. You can contact the company that made your sleeper for a cash refund or voucher.
All right, 5:28, still ahead in our next half hour on Sunrise. Will the Senate impeachment trial allow witnesses?
The battle over that continues this morning in Washington, and a vote is expected tomorrow. Tracy Potts has everything you need to know when we come back.